I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
And we got car restarts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. Spectacular fashion.
Welcome back to the Goat Locker Racing Alexander PC's ARCA West Series, and tonight, for the final race of the regular season, we're going to take on the concrete jungle of Nashville Super Speedway. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up in the booth tonight by our producer, Bradley Cooper, and we're getting ready for a good one tonight. Bradley, tell us a little bit about Nashville.
Well, I've had the privilege of being here before, so I know the track very well. It's a very big 1.3 mile. It's kind of that hybrid between a short track, like you have the Monster Mile, of course, in Dover, and then you have that Las Vegas kind of cookie cutter template. The concrete surface here is going to chew up the tires. It's going to get difficult to pass after about 10 laps. The inside line is really where you're going to want to be, and dirty air is going to play a factor throughout most of the race.
And you can see your track info right there. 12 degrees of banking through the corners, 8 down the front straightaway. That banking seems a little bit higher in the car than it actually is in real life. So you can kind of get a little bit of speed through there, but you've still got to run much slower than you do on a typical 1.5 miles. And I think you're going to see that here tonight. The concrete is going to make for some interesting racing as we head into the nighttime. You can see your point standings here. Top 8 drivers in each class qualify for the playoffs. You've got Mark Whitley, Sean Kaiser, Trevor Dyer, Brandon Wallace, Jake Ellingson, Jake Ham, Peyton Hubbard, and Barry Stevens there in your pro class. Those cars are all locked in because Christian Angel is not in our field tonight. And then you got a battle still in the AM class. Dave Calvert, Thaddeus Friel Jr., Skylar Daly, Chuck Feltz, Chris Bargetzi, Daniel Parks, Brock Price, Dave Calvert Sr. there, all to the good. You've got Joshua Thornton a little bit back along with Bobby Bender. Once again, top 8 cars are going to be the ones that we see in the playoffs here this season. As we grid up for the ARCA West race, your pole sitter tonight will be the 74 car of Mark Whitley. He wins your Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning. They're local and veteran certified, and when they do well, they do good in the community. So thank you to Jam Printing and Promotions for your support. Mark Whitley gets that pole award tonight. And up on the front row with him, one of the AM drivers is the 90 of Dave Calvert Sr. Starting this race on the front row, what'll he have for Mark Whitley? Skylar Daly will go from P3, another AM driver in the 22. Jake Ellingson will start 4th in the 27 car. David Calvert rolls off 5th in the 41 next to the 469 of Nicholas Myers back there in 6th. Jake Ham in the 85 will go from P7 tonight next to the 185 of Brandon Kiger. And then the last 2 cars in your top 10 will be the 46 of Sean Kaiser and the 99 of Brandon Wallace.
11th spot's going to go to Trevor Dyer in the 64. Brock Price will start in 12th. 13th with Tyler Clemens. Ashton Osorio Nolan will start in 14th. Then row number 8 with Thaddeus Friel Jr., Chris Bargetzi in the 441. And you have Bobby Bender and Hayden Mirror in 18th position. Your top 20, Ronnie Morrison, Joshua Thornton in the 25.
In 21st tonight, you've got Vernon Liebenthal in the 033 next to the 80 at Kevin Price. Last cars taking times. You got Chuck Phelps in the 75, Justin Klein in the 721 car tonight. Nick Trussell rolls off 25th in the 022, and Mike Swardson will bring up the rear of your qualifying grid with a 935. 2 cars did not take times. It's Okie Montgomery in the 55 car, Armando Melgoza in the 78. They will go from the back of your field tonight, and also going from the back of the field will be the 46 car of Sean Kaiser. He has an EOL penalty, I believe, from last week that, well, Race Control announced it, but they haven't actually issued him the EOL yet. I believe he will drop to the back before we get ready to go green here. Race length will be 80 laps. Pit road speed, 45 miles an hour. You've got 4 tire sets available, 2 green-white checkers with 1 faster pair, 65% fuel, and an iRacing fixed setup, as got some issues gridding up here as cars are still trying to get around Sean Kaiser there, who is serving that EOL and going to the back of the field. Pace car will pull off through turn 4. We'll enter the extreme scoring restart zone. It's Dave Calvert, and it's Mark Whitley up on the front row. And we are green at Nashville, and the outside lane is already checking up. Oh, we already reckon there in turn 1. Caution's going to fly. Joshua Thornton is around, and it's a big hit on the top for Armando Melgoza in the 78 car. Getting in that incident a little bit late there after some contact with Thornton coming back down the track, and Okie Montgomery there. There you go. That's Armando Melgoza coming in at the deep end of that. Sean Kaiser also caught up coming from the rear, and this is going to be some contact between Hayden Mir and Joshua Thornton, who's trying to rip it 3 wide down into turn 1. There's going to be a slight amount of contact, maybe some net code up there on the high side. 25 goes around and then doesn't hold the brakes, and you see a couple other cars get torn up there as well.
And watching the 25, that contact, it's too early to try to do that. I know the outside didn't get going, but you got to have the patience. Know that these drivers are on cold tires. Into turn 1. Not a lot of banking here. So any contact at all is going to send that car around.
That red car caught up, and that was the 55 of Okie Montgomery getting involved in that one. One of a few cars taking some damage. One of a few cars who is, I would imagine, going to have to use that faster pair here.
Yeah, front toe completely knocked out. In fact, the camber's busted off of it as well. It's like the entire right front suspension is gone on that car. He's dragging the front end around, trying to get to pit road. 1 faster pair, thankfully for these drivers, but when you have to burn it in the first turn of the first lap, it's never a good feeling.
Yeah, that was Justin Klein, who we saw skating on the wall, and Race Control is going to rule that as a racing incident. No further action will be taken, although all the cars involved in that will have to go to the back anyway to get that car fixed up, and it looks like Armando Melgoza is going to come out of the pits 1 lap down there already, so he is going to be in some early trouble here tonight at Nashville. Long way to go for that car to get back up to the front. While we're under caution, we can thank one of our partners at Goat Locker Racing. That is Alexander PCs. Alexander PCs is a custom and gaming PC builder who have been building and modding systems since 2002. They are a veteran-owned and operated family business, and all of the team members, support, and production are US-based. All desktop PCs come with an industry-best lifetime limited warranty and service guarantee. Work, play, conquer with Alexander PCs. And they are obviously the title sponsor of the Alexander PCs ARCA West Series, so we thank them for their continued support here with Goat Locker Racing. Plates on the pace car will come off. We'll get stacked back up here for Mark Whitley and Skylar Daly, who was able to jump that car into second after Dave Calvert Sr. in the 90 did not have the best jump in that white car back there. Let's see if Jake Ellingson can try to move his way up through the field. He's starting back and forth. You've got Jake Ham, another really quick driver. Not too far behind this one either. I'll tell you what, Bradley, the race for the AM lead tonight looks like it's going to be pretty fun, considering you've got Skylar Daly, Dave Calvert, and David Calvert all right up at the front here.
Yeah, looking at this, Skylar Daly has really turned it up here in the later half of the season. And got some momentum after last week. And then you have David Calvert Sr., who's on the edge of this round of 8. You've got, of course, David Calvert. Those two always go back and forth every single week. So I'm interested to see if the 41 can get up there and seal the deal for the end of this.
We'll see as they head down to the extreme scoring restart zone. Mark Whitley's going to have that jump as the control car on the inside lane. He's going to take off right at the start of the zone and get us back underway here at Nashville. Another great start for him, and not a great start for really anyone behind. Dave Calvert Sr. couldn't get it going. Skylar Daly was caught up there on the outside, and that's left him vulnerable to Jake Ellingson moving down on that bottom lane as the shorter way around the corner, and usually you can make that work on the first lap of a run. Oh, we're already wrecking further back. We've got a caution in the mid-pack. Couple cars torn up there pretty heavily. It's like Hayden Muir is going through the infield. Mike Swardson is spun around in the grass. He came in there a bit late. This is going to start with the 99 of Brandon Wallace, who is going to go around, and it's going to spiral from there. Here's that car, that 99 that ultimately started this. He's just going to lose it. Car kind of steps out on him here down into the corner. Not sure if he was trying to avoid the car in front of him, but he just loses it. Collides with Brock Price, gets up into a Acero Nolan, and it all goes wrong.
Yeah, I think he locked up the brakes trying to avoid the 08.
See it right here. See what happens. Oh, yeah, he got way down on that brake pedal there. You can see the RPMs drop from that in-car. Just wasn't able to keep a hold of it. Might have had it there from that little bump he took to the inside with Brock Price, but Ashton Acero Nolan gave him a little shot to the bumper there and sent that car around anyways. So that'll put us back under caution here on what will be lap number 7 as we take the line at Nashville. Ashton Acero Nolan, Armando Melgoza, that is, in the 78 car, going back around the leaders there. He will get that lucky dog position. And while we're under caution, we can thank another one of our Goat Locker Racing partners. That is the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. They have been instrumental in keeping Goat Locker Racing going over the years and in ensuring that these veterans out here on the racetrack have a place to race, and that Goat Locker Racing is able to give out the sim rigs to the deserving veterans. So thank you very much to the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs for your continued support of GLR.
Well, we haven't really seen what the tires are going to do, what anybody has for the 74, Mark Whitley. Really haven't seen a change for position in the top 10. Tyler Clemens didn't start there. He gained 1 spot, but everybody else that's up here has been here since the start. Hard to pass under pace laps.
I mean, I've seen that with this new ARCA update that we had between these 2 weeks. This car feels pretty different. I've heard the tire wear maybe not as severe as some of these drivers would be expecting. Tire wear is always going to be a little bit different at a concrete track like Nashville, but with this new update, apparently seeing some differences with the ARCA car that these drivers are going to have to get used to, and whoever is best at adapting could have a pretty big advantage tonight.
Right down on the pace car. Let's double back up. 3rd time that we've tried to hit the loud pedal today, and we've made it through 1 corner.
Well, we will see if we can make it through 2 corners, potentially 3 corners even. Let's see how we do. Brandon Wallace is going to get the EOL penalty for incident responsibility as a result of that caution there back on lap 5. Not surprised it was a self-spin. So he will take that thing to the rear of the field, and well, he's still in the pit lane, so he's not even going to get that thing back out on the racetrack. He will come out 1 lap down, and we'll have to hope that we get another caution in quick succession and he is able to get a wave around and get himself back up on the lead lap. Back up front, you've still got Mark Whitley on that inside line. He's the leader of your pro class, the 22 Skylar Daly on the top, the leader of your AM class. And Jake Ellingson and Jake Ham sit 3rd and 4th at the moment. The 2 pro drivers looking to move up, as it's David and Dave Calvert back in row 3, side by side with each other. The pace car pulls in. We're already stacking up here before we even get to the line in the mid-pack, but Whitley will hit the extreme scoring restart zone, and we will go here on lap 9 at Nashville. It's another great jump for the 74 car as as he has pretty much every time we see him in the lead here in GLR. Jake Ellingson will complete that move he was trying to get done on Skylar Daly before the caution flew. He'll get up to P2. Daly back to P3, Ham to 4, and they're still side by side in that battle for P5. The two Calverts going at it there in the 90 and the 41 car. It's going to be junior David Calvert taking that spot as Dave Calvert Sr. continues to fall back, now under threat from that 74 car behind him, that 64 car behind him of Trevor Dyer. Now it's Brandon Kiger in the 185 up to the outside. Bad lap for Dave Calvert Sr. He's going all the way back to 8th as we single file out back up front.
We made it a lap, Sky. A whole lap.
We did.
1.3 miles up to speed. And while that's happening, you're watching some of the drivers that started up in the front row, as we almost have some contact there with Jake Ham and Skylar Daly in 3 and 4. Jake Ham has been able to work his way up.
And David Calvert moving through the field just took the AM lead away there from that 22 car of Skylar Daly. 4th overall on the racetrack, first in the AM class as Trevor Dyer, the pro class driver, is wanting to pursue Jake Ham, but he'll have to get around both of these cars in this side-by-side battle for 4th on the racetrack. And Daly's gonna almost cut that 41 car off back there. A bit of a risky move for Skylar Daly to drop that car to the bottom, but it's gonna end up working out for him as David Calvert will be held up by the 64 of Trevor Dyer, taking him side by side. Not too far behind this battle, you've got the 185 car of Brandon Kiger. I believe he is being stored in the AM class tonight, although he does not have any stickers on his car that would indicate his class. We're going to treat him like he's in the AM class for right now, as the 185 gives a shot to the bumper there. The 64 car of Trevor Dyer moves him a little bit up the road and gets him through for the move on David Calvert. That's now one pro driver separating Daly and Calvert back there for the AM lead.
Yeah, pretty accurate guess there. Based off the I rating, 26-23. So I think that's below the threshold. Although he does have a white number, but he's being labeled in his own class. So 7th overall on the racetrack.
Here's that 41 car of David Calvert going right back down to the inside of the 64 of Trevor Dyer. Wants that AM lead back, but he's got to chase down Skylar Daly to get it, and the only way he can get up to Skylar Daly is if he clears that 64 car.
He's going to
clear him. Slide it up the road a little bit, makes some contact there, not able to get around, and that'll slow him up. That'll leave the door open for the 185 car of Brandon Kiger running down there on the bottom. They're door-to-door for P6. Dave Calvert Sr. lurking in the wings back here for P8. He and David Calvert Jr. were going at it there for a while, and the 41 car will look to get back around the 185. Skylar Daly now checked out for that AM lead, 1 second clear of the 41 car of David Calvert as we're still going at it back here for P6. David Calvert has the advantage. He will get the spot over the 185 of Brandon Kiger, and that car will separate Calvert from Calvert, and then Clemis and Nicholas Myers sit behind those two.
Riding on board with Jake Ellingson. Keeping Mark Whitley honest. Staying within half a second, right on the back bumper, but in that bubble of dirty air. And I talked a little bit about that at the beginning of the race, Sky. Dirty air, this new update, tire wear, a factor, concrete, all of those things. And when you have to run the same line, everyone's going to be on the bottom when they're running by themselves. You just have to be down there. It's the fastest way around this racetrack, even in dirty air. But eventually, Ellingson's going to burn the right front off of it, trying to stay behind Whitley.
Yeah, Nashville Superspeedway isn't too different of a track from Gateway where we were last week, but these two cars from this week to Gateway last week are going to drive about as differently as possible because of the update to these cars in between these two races, making changes to the roll bar, making changes to the tire wear. It's really shaking up how these cars drive. Not only that, but this is also a night race. The track is cooler, and we're also racing on concrete this week at Nashville Superspeedway. So a lot of different things this week, a lot of factors these drivers had to take into consideration when they were practicing, when they were getting ready for tonight's race. We're single filed out around the field right now. Mark Whitley with a 0.2 of a second lead to the 27 car of Jake Ellingson. We are door-to-door for, this is going to be last place on the racetrack. It's going to be Justin Klein in the 721 getting through Mike Swartzen in the 935. Both of these cars are pretty heavily damaged, and they're not too far away from getting lapped, as though Justin Klein is going to rip that one off the wall there. big problems for the 721 in that battle at the very back of the field. A little bit further up the racetrack, we've got some battles starting to form. This is Thaddeus Friel Jr. in the 08. He is one spot behind that 42 car of Ashton Acero Nolan. Friel, a little bit of a hole in the nose of that car there. Some pretty serious damages dented that 08's front fender. And that could be slowing him up as he tries to hold on to that spot. Side by side a little bit deeper in the field too, you've got Ronnie Morrison in the 969 going at it with the 80 car of Kevin Price for that 16th position back in the field.
Price actually just tagged the wall, or maybe got really close to it coming out of 4. It's another factor here that we didn't touch on in the pre-race. This track, it's deceitful because of the shallow banking. It's got that, like I said, Chicagoland, Las Vegas kind of build. Even Kansas similar to it. Kentucky could be thrown in that category. But there's not enough banking off the exits. It's flattening out a lot faster because there's not a lot in the middle of the corner. So when you come into these turns, you're actually gripping the brake to keep the car on the bottom, and you have to let it roll a lot longer. Whereas a lot of times at these 1.5-mile tracks, you'd be back on the throttle and steering with the back end of the car to come off the corner. You can't do that here. And you're just going to see a lot of drivers push up because they get back to the gas too early.
Just had a move made for P2. Jake Ham got clear there, the 27 car of Jake Ellingson. Both of these drivers have been in hot pursuit of your leader tonight, the 74 car of Mark Whitley. Ellingson will now drop it back down to the inside, looking for round 2, looking to contest this 85 car of Jake Ham. Not able to do it right there. He'll have to slide in behind and build up this run one more time. Both of these cars were able to close in on Mark Whitley. He got a big jump on that restart as the 27 is going to make a little bit of contact there with the rear bumper of the 85 as he tries to find some space around this racetrack. Jake Ham cuts him off there as they head down into turn 1. That was a close shave between those two cars. Like I was saying, these two have been reeling in Mark Whitley. He got a big jump on the restart, but he hasn't been as fast here now that we've actually had about 15 laps of green flag running put on. And that's allowed Jake Ham, that's allowed Jake Ellingson to get up to the back of that 74 car. These drivers could stay single file. They would have a decent shot of passing Whitley, especially as that 74 car starts to get into some dirty air up here with the lapper of Mike Swardson not too far up the road. See if Swardson gets out of the way here in the 935 car.
He's in the racing line right now, but I would assume once we get to the tri-oval, he's going to either go up high or he's going to drop all the way down the apron.
We'll see what that 935 car of Mike Swardson does here. He's going to have to let these leaders go one way or another. Back down on the racing line, now back up the racetrack, and he's right on the door of Mark Whitley. This isn't going to end well. Jake Ham is going to get into the back of that lap car, and now Mike Swardson will drop it down to the apron. He does not want any more of that. And the 85 will hold second, but he is going to be slowed up a lot. He was pretty close to the rear bumper of that 74 car of Mark Whitley before. Now has lost half a second in comparison to your 74 car up at the front of the field. And he's going to need to work hard to close that gap, especially because he still has Jake Ellingson beating down the back door right there. And that 27 car has been all over the 85 for the last couple laps, but he hasn't been able to get enough momentum to actually make a move stick there around that inside lane. He's taking these big lunges down into the corner so far, though none of them paying off. Get some more battles a little further back in the field right here. This is the 96 car going at it. That's Bobby Bender ahead of Ashton Acero Nolan. And then Thaddeus Friel is going to go door to door with Sean Kaiser back here.
Bender has a 42 all over the back bumper in the last couple laps. Nolan has been a lot faster by a full 10. 96 trying to defend it here on the outside. Will have the confirmed line brushes the wall.
Will that open the door there for that 42 car of Acero Nolan down on the inside line? Bobby Bender making it work up there on the high side, trying to keep that 42 car down, and it'll work right there. Bad corner for Acero Nolan, and you can see in that rear view cam, Sean Kaiser in the 46 has jumped to move up to the inside of the 42, and we've got a battle broom behind him as well, because Thaddeus Friel is getting pressured here by the 25 car of Joshua Thornton. 4 cars all under a blanket. You're seeing it out of the rear view cam there of Bobby Bender in the 96 car. Ashton Acero Nolan in the 42 now has that 12th spot. Kaiser dropping back in 13th. He's battling with that 08 car of Thaddeus Friel. Kaiser not having a good race, not able to contest the rest of the Amfield as Joshua Thornton looked like he was going to take it 3 wide for a moment there. All the way down to the apron, had to back out, wasn't willing to risk it, but he is getting a little aggressive back there in the 25, trying to recover from that incident he had in the first 5 laps of this one.
Sean Kaser, who got the EOL penalty, started at the back of this field, got caught up in that incident on lap 1 in corner 1. Since then, gained about 13, 14 positions to get up here midway into the field, but that's where it's went stagnant.
Thaddeus Friel Jr. will get clear of that 46 car there in the 08. This is a battle for the AM class with Kaiser, a pro driver, having a bad time tonight, mixed in here in that 46.
Oh, and a lunge.
He's going to have some contact there on Joshua Thornton, continuing to get aggressive in that 25 car. He is really using that bumper tonight. He's not afraid to get his hands a little dirty to make some moves in that 25 car. Not the first time that we've seen him either get into or get very close to the rear bumper of another car. Now he's going to almost door Kaiser as he comes back up the road. Barely enough space for 3 cars. And the 46 just has to back out there as the 25 forced his way up the racetracks to get side by side with the 42 of Acero Nolan. Thaddeus Friel clear of this mess for now in the 08 car, but he hasn't gotten far enough away. And Joshua Thornton will be right back on the bumper of that car in no time if he's able to get clear of Acero Nolan there in the 42. And that is going to be a loose moment entering the corner for Thornton. That'll drop him out of the battle with Acero Nolan. He'll go right back into the battle with the 46 of Kaiser. Good recovery. We might see him 3 wide. We're going to see Acero Nolan go around there in the 42 car. Huge hit to the inside wall, and the caution will fly here on lap number 32. That car is torn up.
It's a hard hit to the inside wall. We saw it brewing, Sky. They'd been running back and forth, using each other up, using the bumpers, not giving each other any courtesy at all. Watch here. 25 is going to take it 3 wide. There's contact on the outside. I think Sean hit the wall a little bit, and then Ashton has nowhere to go. He's just trying to avoid the 46 on the outside. 25 had the run.
And that is going to have to be a fast repair there for the 42 of Ashton Acero Nolan. Not the way he wanted this one to go, but you see him just come across the nose of the 25 of Joshua Thornton there after some contact further up the track with Sean Kaiser. And we are going to see wholesale pit stops. Everybody's down pit road.
You can see the 25 gets a run here. 42 just comes down because the 46 hits the outside wall, so.
So we will see who's able to win the race off pit road here. If anyone plays it a little aggressive on strategy, maybe goes for a 2-tire call here, we will see. Mark Whitley will still be the first car out. We're close for second, but Jake Ham gets it over Jake Ellingson and Trevor Dyer back there. And the 185 of Brandon Kiger will come out 5th. We have received clarification. Kiger is in the pro class for tonight's race. He will not be racing for the AM lead. He will be racing for the pro lead. We do have at least one EOL is going to be issued here, and I believe it's going to be issued to, well, Race Control told us the 73 car. Oh, that's ARCA East. ARCA East is going to have a restart violation issue. We share one chat here for ARCA West and ARCA East, and I saw a restart violation, and I thought it was us, and it was not.
Yeah, I don't know that you can put that on anybody in particular. The 42 of Nolan gets the worst end of it, hits the inside wall, has to burn a fast repair, is going to be at the end of this field anyway. And I don't think you need to penalize him. I think he knows already that was a mistake. Whoops. You know, it's not going to help to penalize a driver after they took themselves out.
If you were wondering, that was Jeremiah Holt in East who got that restart violation. So He's in trouble on 2 broadcasts here tonight as we thank another one of our Goat Locker racing partners. That is Goat Talk Live. Goat Talk is more than just a show. It's a platform dedicated to supporting our nation's heroes. Through engaging conversations, Goat Talk spotlights the impactful work GLR does to bring community and camaraderie through their iRacing leagues. Each week, hang out with the GLR crew for incredible stories, sim racing action, and a celebration of the spirit of service and community. Don't miss your chance to connect with the people driving change and supporting those who have served on Goat Talk Live. As we get ready to go here, we'll have a very different front few cars from what we had on that last restart. Nice 30-lap green flag run there has shook this field up, and while Mark Whitley is still your race leader, it'll be Jake Ham going from the other spot on the front row. Jake Ellingson will sit 3rd, Trevor Dyer in 4th. Your AM leader is back in 6th. It's the 90 of Dave Calvert Sr. We take the extreme scoring restart zone. It's a great jump for Mark Whitley, and we're back green here at Nashville. Jake Ellingson gets a much better restart there than Jake Ham. He immediately takes over P2 from that 85 car. He is going to be the one who tries to break Mark Whitley's iron fist on this race, as that 74 car has led every lap so far. Jake Ham will slip back to 3rd, and he will be pressured by the 64 car of Trevor Dyer and the 185 of Brandon Kiger, who's going to smack that thing off the inside wall right in front of Tyler Clements back there. Clements has to check up to avoid contact, and he will lose 1, 2, 3 positions, and we're going to wreck right on top of him for the AM lead. A couple cars around there. It's going to be the 469 of Nicholas Myers getting the worst of it off some contact with David Calvert, and Brandon Wallace will go around as well.
I'm not really sure how Brandon Wallace got involved in this.
He just lost the car trying to avoid that one.
I think you're okay, Brandon. I don't think you need any more steering input. I think you were going to be fine. If we can find what happened to Nicholas Myers, though. Looked like a spot of contact going into 1. We just watched the pass there with both Calvert Sr. and David Calvert. And then he's going to get a run here. I think he runs in the back of the 90 on the outside. Yeah, right there. And great save there by the 90. Fantastic drive.
That was an incredible save there by that 90 car to keep that thing straight, because that could have very easily gone around. Dave Calvert Sr. has been running a great race here tonight, and he's able to keep that car up there and keep himself in contention for the AM lead because he was able to avoid that.
Expect this track temperature to continue to come down as well, Sky. 79 degrees ambient air, and 85, so no sunlight to heat this place up. It'll cool down quickly, and it's going to scrub more of the speed. It's going to be grippier, but it's also going to chew the tires up a lot harder. I don't think that's been a factor yet because we haven't really seen any long with a 30-lap run. You know, that's that 65% fuel. They probably could have won another 25, 30 laps easily. And with the pit stop happening there about 5 laps ago, I think these drivers should be good. They'll be right on that edge, but I think they should be good to make it to the end.
Track temp has been pretty stable since we started, but it is 9:41 p.m. in sim tonight, so that'll definitely play into the expected cooling that we could see later on in this race. While we're under caution, we can thank another one of our Goat Locker racing partners tonight. That is InVets. InVets aids in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They are a veteran nonprofit in Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to that state to live and work. They've been a large partner of Goat Locker Racing through the years, and they're also the title sponsor of the Grand National Series that we run on Sundays around here. So thank you very much to InVets for your continued support of GLR.
Waypoint.
Yep, lights on the pace car will go out, so we will get back rolling here on lap 41 in tonight's race. Jake Ellingson will be on the inside, but he's not your control car. Mark Whitley, for the first time tonight, is going to choose to restart up on that top line. He's had good success on the bottom. Do you think that's going to be any better for him?
I think he's being the command car. He can do whatever he wants at this point. No one's shown that they can match his speed, and probably prefers to start on the outside, puts you up near that outside wall. I think he might get a bigger jump here than we've seen previously.
We'll see if he's able to get it done. I'll tell you what, I think Mark Whitley has won the last 1, 2, 5 consecutive races I've called in Goat Locker Racing.
Yeah, he's been done.
So, yeah. Mark Whitley can make it 6 for 6 tonight in terms of races I've called that he has also won here over the last month in Goat Locker Racing. He will start on the outside here. He'll be the control car next to the 27 of Jake Ellingson down there on the bottom line. We're already stacking up behind him as we enter the extreme scoring restart zone. Another great jump from Whitley up top there. He'll get well clear of the 27 on the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I expected. Being the command car, you get that whole shot. It's a little bit flatter up there on the outside, so the tires hook up a little better, and you could get pinned on the inside
caution
there.
is out.
And Ronnie Morris Jr. around, and that's 969.
Yep, has that car spun around on the inside of the racetrack, and he was... Oh, this is going to start before we even get into the corner. He and Bobby Bender are going to have it coming together. And there you go. Both of them tried to save it. Neither of them actually could. Well, Bobby Bender got there eventually.
Yeah, Bender able to do it. I think he used the apron, but the 969 could never get back up on the racing surface. Single car around. That's going to lock up at least a handful more laps for Mark Whitley. And you were talking about the month of March being dominant for the 74. The whole season. I mean, 6 wins here in ARCA West. You go over to the Truck Series where he's strung together, I believe, 3 wins in a row. Just dominant here in the month of March. Week after week, we mentioned the 74. And just fantastic drive so far in this one, leading every single lap, but going to come down pit road. This is a toss-up. This puts him deep in the field.
Yeah, you're going to see quite a few cars who have opted to stay out while Mark Whitley makes the turn down pit road. Jake Ellingson, David Calvert, Jake Ham, Dave Calvert Sr., all still out on the racetrack. So off strategy here for the 74 of Mark Whitley. We'll see where he shakes out. I would just like to note, though, Mark Whitley, winner last week at Gateway. I was not here, sorry, Bradley, but he did win last week at Gateway. Grabbed the win 2 weeks ago when I was here at Dover. Grabbed the win to start the month in this series at New Hampshire. So that's 3 straight for him just in the ARCA series. Then you bounce over to the Sunday Grand National Series, which I am also in the booth for here with Goat Locker Racing. Mark Whitley won last night, won the week before, and won the week before that. So that is... If I was in the booth last week, it would have been 6 straight races here across the ARCA Series and across Grand National that he has won. Could be 7 tonight.
You want the truck stats?
Is he dominating that too?
Pretty well, I'd say.
I did click into that chat, and I did see about 4 consecutive wins for him earlier in the season. So there you go. Basically, if we run it here in Goat Locker Racing, Mark Whitley is probably going to be winning it at some point.
It was actually the last post was on the 14th, so that was not actually, that was the 51. Levi McCarty, they got the win there, but you go the week after that, the 20th, Mark Whitley. The week before the 51 got a win, Mark Whitley got a win. Just keep scrolling and seeing the 77 on the screen. So.
Yeah, every series he runs, he has been absolutely dominant in Goat Locker Racing for basically the last month now. And I mean, like we said, between ARCA and between the Grand National Series, this will be 7 straight for him. just in those 2 series. If he's able to get back up to the front and grab the win here tonight, he will be starting deeper in the field after that pit stop. We're going to see him go from P19 there. I almost read his car numbers where he was on the track. He will go from P19 in that 74 car. He will be the first car on. Actually, he took fuel only. Fuel only stop for Mark Whitley there. So we'll see if any of these cars in front of him are able to make it to the end. It will be an interesting call. We'll see how it goes. Jake Ellingson will take off in the restart zone, and he will get us back underway here on lap number 45.
The 74 off of the lead. Everybody behind now knows there's an opportunity to go up here and snag this lead. Jake Ellingson knew that, stayed out on the racetrack, and with under 40 to go, I like this call. It's going to take a while for the 74 to get up here.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe banking on us having a long green flag run where with the low fuel load tonight, some of these cars up further in the field are going to run out of fuel, and that could play out for Mark Whitley to get his way back up front. But he's also going to be able to just drive past a lot of cars. Even if he's deeper in the field, there is still a lot of speed in that 74 machine, and he's showing it right now. Started that car in 19th on that restart, already has it up into 14th. He was maybe going to go 3 wide there with Chuck Phelps, thought about it for a moment, backed out, but he will still have that car in P14 as he rounds this corner and puts pressure on that side-by-side battle. Oh, we're going to wreck behind him. Acero Nolan is going to take a detour through the infield. He'll come back up on the track, and that will spin Thaddeus Friel around, and the admins will throw the caution for this one. Nicholas Myers and a couple other cars pretty heavily involved there. Bobby Bender took a hit as well.
Thaddeus Friel, an innocent bystander in this, was coming across the tri-oval, and the 42 just came straight back up the racetrack. And look at that thing crab walking on the access road. Saw it there live. It was a little hit there between Nolan and Hayden Mirror, which didn't look like it was going to bring out a yellow, but the 42 coming back up on the racetrack, that's going to do it every time.
And that should be the end of Acero Nolan's race. He's already used that fast repair here tonight. Nicholas Myers, Bobby Bender, both still have one left, so it could be plenty worse.
Yeah, you got to steer it to the left here. That is way too shallow of an entry to not come out the other side and take some people out.
Yeah, not great. Let's see here. Yeah, just some contact there with Mir. I think he might have got, I don't know if he hit the wall there, but he definitely got loose, and then Friel went around as that car came back up the road.
Well, that doesn't happen very often. We all make mistakes, right?
I forgot there was a race last week after I had some car trouble, so I forgive you.
I had probably one of the worst broadcasts I've had in a while, honestly, Scott, because I wasn't feeling well. I was sick last week for probably 4 or 5 days, and
yeah,
it's all right. There's a lot of Sudafed. A lot of Sudafed got me through that one.
My car ended up in the shop, and I threw off everything I had going, and it's like 6:45, my alarm goes off, and it says iRacing. And I look at my alarm, and I go, I wonder why I set that. And then I mute it, and then I go about my night. And then at 9 p.m., I'm like, wait, I feel like I'm missing something. Oh.
Yeah. Did you get that V-Speed notification that we were live?
I actually did find out because I went on YouTube, and it was on my homepage.
Yep.
That'll do it.
That's a way to find out.
Yeah. But hey, we're back now. We're having a good time tonight.
Yep.
We're having a good time tonight. 46 viewers. Thank you all so much for watching here on V-Speed tonight.
Last race of the regular season.
Yep. Message in chat says we're throwing an audible. I'm assuming that is about the pitch strategy of one Mark Whitley.
Yes.
Who's already back up to 7th, by the way. There were some other pit stops in there on that cycle.
Actually marking 5th now.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's going to separate these cars is that the cars who did just come down, David Calvert, Skylar Daly, most of those cars took 4 tires. Mark Whitley did not. He took fuel only when he came down. So that could shake things up. Only your top 4 and Hayden Mir have stayed out on the racetrack for the last 16 laps. So Whitley is on the same tires as those cars in the top 4, but he's got cars on fresh tires really not too far behind him. In Ronnie Morrison, in Trevor Dyer, and in David Calvert, who are running 8th through 10th at the minute.
Jacob Ellingson has about a 4-car cushion now. 3 of those drivers pro class in the top 5. Now with Mark Whitley joining, it'll be 4. Then Dave Calvert Sr. Like you mentioned, 4 of those drivers on older tires. And actually with Whitley on the same tires, just came down and topped off with fuel. So did Joshua Thornton, Brandon Wallace. It's Trevor Dyer with the freshest tires in the top 10.
We will see what he can do on that fresh rubber there in the 64 cars. It's Ellingson and Ham up on your front row. They're going to take the extreme scoring restart zone. Ellingson is the control car. He'll get a good jump, and we will get back green here at Nashville with 30 to go in the Alexander PC's ARCA West Series. It's a great jump out there for Jake Ellingson. He's clear of Jake Ham. He's clear of Sean Kaiser back in the 46. Mark Whitley, though, already charging his way back up through the field. He's gotten around Dave Calvert Sr. He's gotten around Joshua Thornton. That car is up in the 4th, and he's on the same tires as the car in front of him, but he's got a lot of speed in that 74. We'll see if he's able to take that thing back to victory lane just on that speed, or if one of these cars behind him, like Trevor Dyer, who came down for tires not too long ago, is going to use the advantage of the fresher rubber to get around the 74 and make something happen.
Trevor Dyer not moving as quickly as I thought he would. And remember, 4 fresh tires, there was only a 3 or 4 tire difference, so it's going to take a few laps for that fall off as the 969 of Ronnie Morrison gets into the outside. That was the 99 of Brandon Wallace. He's still trying to save it. Big check up here in 10.
What might not be helping Dyer is he pit 2 cautions ago. He pit on that caution that Whitley came down, so his tires really only about 10 laps newer than the cars who are running up here in the top 4. The best car on 4 new tires on the last caution is in 9th. That's the 41 of David Calvert. You're seeing him on screen right now. He sits 3rd in the AM class with a decent ways to go to Dave Calvert Sr. up there and Joshua Thornton, who are sitting as the top 2 in that class at the moment. Up at the front of the field, Mark Whitley is going to go side by side here with that 46 car of Sean Kaiser. He's trying to make the move work on the outside, but he's going to get loose.
Holds
Has
on
to
to
back
it.
out of the throttle there to avoid getting into the outside wall, but somehow manages to keep that car's run and keep himself steady with the 46, and that'll give him enough space that he's able to get down and clear through turns 3 and 4 and get himself back up onto the podium. Next 2 targets will be your top 2 on the racetrack, Jake Ham and Jake Ellingson, 1 and 2, and it's already going to be a big dive in for Mark Whitley. He's getting aggressive here.
You see that aggressive entry leads to a shallow exit, not able to get back to the throttle as soon. You can see him how he's driving it in. That line works when you're the leader, but it's not as effective in the dirty air, and this is the first time Whitley's experienced that today. So deep in the field, was able to work through 10, 12 positions quickly, but you get up here in the top 3, it gets a little tougher.
And Whitley's already going to get himself up into the top 2 here if he can get himself clear of the 85 car of Jake Ham, really pushing down on the inside line. Not cleared, now he's cleared there on that 85 car. Mark Whitley is really trying to get this spot and get back up to the lead that he held for the first 40 laps of this race before getting off sequence on pit strategy and dropping that car a little bit deeper in the field. He's going to have to pass these 2 cars on pure speed if he wants to get it done, and it'll be another big lunge into the corner, but the caution will fly before he's able to get fully alongside. Ronnie Morrison is backwards.
Another damageless spin here for the 969. The replay had some help. The 55 on the inside of Okie Montgomery. And they just meet in the middle of the track.
Yep, will send that 961 or 969 car fully around there.
Seventh caution of the evening, Sky, and now with just about 20 to go when we go back green, I'm starting to like Jake Ellingson staying out. I think the caution and the way these things have fallen, cool these tires back down. You know, fuel only on Mark Whitley's part, I don't know. I would have taken it too.
We'll see if the 27 and the 85 have fuel. And, well, we're going to see everybody come down now, so I guess it's not really going to matter ultimately in the end.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. We're going to see 4 tires from everyone here.
I would have to imagine that that'll be the play for a lot of cars. It's going to leave some of the drivers who came down without any tires, like Trevor Dyer, for example. If he comes down and puts 4 on, he won't have any tires left. So if there's maybe a late race shakeup,
we'll see one person take 2 to get position.
We're going to see a couple cars stay out here. We're going to see, it looks like 8 cars stay out, all AM drivers. Yeah, there you go. Ham's going to be out quick on 2. And it's going to be the same for Dave Calvert Sr. And it's the same for a lot of cars. Whitley on 4 there is going to drop pretty deep in the field. Ellingson took 4. He'll get out in front of him, but these cars will still come out 11th, 12th, because you've got 8 AM drivers who have opted to stay out on the racetrack on only 10-lap-old tires. That's Skylar Daly, Brock Price, Okie Montgomery, Chris Bargetzi, Thaddeus Friel, Tyler Clemis, Justin Klein, and Vernon Liebenthal. These cars are good on fuel. We might finally get an AM driver to win one. They've got a buffer.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't hold, though. Because you know that these pro drivers are going to be trying to outrun one another. And when you're not racing for position, sometimes you push too hard. Actually, 85 made a mistake there and is going to come back down pit road, probably to get 4 tires.
Well, that'll be devastating for him because there's only 20 laps left for him to get back up to the front of the field. So he is going to have to put a lot of work in if he wants to get that thing back up. That could be potentially devastating for that car. I think it's going to take him out of contention for the win, certainly.
That puts Jake Ellingson back up to the lead. We'll have Dave Calvert Sr. on the inside of the 27. And really, you're depending on the front row. You've got 2 cars here in front of these pro class leaders that have had a struggle here today. They're now up 10 and 8 positions. Vernon Liebenthal and Justin Klein. Oh, I mean, this could dictate the win for the pro class if these guys don't get it going on older tires.
Well, we'll see. This is going to be a really fun battle for both the overall lead and the AM lead, I'll tell you what, because Mark Whitley is going to be like a bull in a china shop trying to get this thing back to the front of the field, but he has 10 AM cars in front of him who are very much liking their positions and very much do not want to give up their chance at a race win here tonight. It's going to be Skylar Daly in the 22. First car down into the extreme scoring restart zone, and we are green here at Nashville. Pretty good jump for that 55 car of Okie Montgomery behind him. We'll go 3 wide down here into turn 1. Montgomery comes up, is going to tag Skylar Daly. Everybody's going to save it, but it is, well, we're going to see if everybody saves it. We're 5 wide here out of the corner, and somehow we make it out unscathed. I got no words for you on that one. Brock Price is in another dimension out in front of this field, and now we're going to wreck behind him. Jake Ham is going to go around. Man, I don't know how that didn't happen about 5 laps or 5 seconds earlier. Whoa! I'm out of words. I'm really out of words. Brock Price is kicking himself because he had a 1.5 second gap up front. Look at this. Brought out the caution there. Hayden Muir and Jake Ham. Whoa, that was close there with Bobby Bender. Had to get into the wall to avoid that one. That was, I don't know when the last time was that I've seen a restart that hectic. I mean, that was truly something.
Yeah, and I want to go back here, and I'm going to play devil's advocate, but maybe a lane change, and I don't know the exact rules here, but I want to say this is a lane change.
No, I couldn't tell you. That is going to be at the discretion of race control, and they haven't said they're investigating anything, so I don't expect to see something. We were legitimately about 5 wide here for a moment. Like, wow. 5 cars is not really what you want to be going for at Nashville. This is a track that can barely fit 5 cars side by side.
When that contact sets it up, Thaddeus Friel in the middle in the 08. Yeah, I would count that as 5.
Oh my goodness. Look at that 185 car just slipping through Brandon Tiger.
And how about the 27 of Jake Ellingson in on this as well? You see the contact there. 99 of Brandon Wallace able to avoid that. But watch on board. We're going to go back one more time and just watch the ride here with the 27.
Yeah, he's being scored second right now, by the way. He was outside the top 10 prior to this.
He was 12th.
He's going to go 12th to second in one corner here. Just keeps the power down as it all goes to crap right in front of him. And he slips through.
See you later, guys.
Yep. Did have some pit stops there. Okie Montgomery, Dave Calvert Sr., Vernon Liebenthal, Thaddeus Friel, Tyler Clemens. Basically, a lot of the cars who stayed out. Brock Price will maintain your lead, but he does not have the 8-car buffer that he did have prior to that, so he's going to be in trouble here on worn tires. We get ready to go here shortly with 16 left to go in the ARCA West Series from Nashville. Brock Price will be your control car and your race leader, getting some valuable laps led here, as after all, this is the last race of the regular season. We haven't mentioned the point standings too much because we don't have live points for you, but we can tell you Brock Price is pretty dang close to that cutoff, and he would certainly like to get an AM win here. He'd certainly like to make sure he is in to that round of 8. Skylar Daly, also another car. Skylar Daly should be locked in to the playoffs here in that AM class. It's third in the point standings, only behind David Calvert and Thaddeus Friel. Joshua Thornton, Bobby Bender, and Dave Calvert Sr. are going to be the ones wanting a big race down there on the bubble. It's Brock Price, your control car, as we slide down into the extreme scoring restart zone, and he's got the jump. Pretty solid one there for a car on worn tires. He'll take off. Jake Ellingson and Sean Kaiser will now go side by side for second and for the lead of the pro class back there, as we are already getting a bit tight behind him. That is the 22 of Chris Bargetzi involved.
And 3 wide going into 3 and 4.
Mark Whitley down there on the bottom of that 3 wide. He is going to make the move on one car, Chris Bargetzi. He's now going to look to make the move on Brandon Kiger up in front of him, but Whitley sits in P6 at the moment. We mentioned it. He's won the last 3 races in this series. He's been dominant coming down to playoff time here in just a week's time. Will he be able to clinch his 4th win in a row before we hit the playoffs, or will somebody steal it away from him? Right now, your race leader is still the AM class driver. The 43 of Brock Price on worn tires has done an incredible job to keep himself in this battle, and it helps that Sean Kaiser and Jake Ellingson keep going at it for P2 behind him. A little bit of contact down there on the inside for these 2 cars. Ellingson will get clear, but we're going to wreck behind him as Skylar Daly gets turned around off the nose of, that is Klein back there. Kiger back there, excuse me. The 185 will go around. That will bring out the caution, and Daly, not able to save it, will bring out another caution. What would it be if Brock Price got a win tonight? Man.
Running out of laps to pass him, so it's looking more and more like it's a possibility, but that contact there think it was a direct result. You watch the 27 and the 46 really fighting here hard across the tri-oval, and they had to take a shallow entry into the corner. 22 really had to check up to 185, not prepared for that. Whitley able to avoid it. 22 coming back up the racetrack, and then calamity behind him. Oh, 08 of Thaddeus Friel. I'm not even really sure. I think these guys were checking up, and Friel just runs into the back of it. What
Yeah,
in the
ooh.
world was that?
Well, he slammed on the brakes there to try to avoid contact in front of him, and that ended up looping the car around.
Well, hold on. We got somebody else that just got sent to the outside wall. Here's the contact. What is going on with the 78 there?
Yeah, I got
Mendoza.
nothing for you. I got absolutely nothing for you. Let's see if we can get another view on this. Go on board and oh, he just completely lost it. Whoa. Jake Ham totaled in that, by the way. I mean, he was out of contention for the win anyway, but he'll be out of contention maybe even to finish this race now.
A lot happening as a side effect of an incident. I think two cars involved there. They both go into the grass, and then just everything behind it flies apart. I think some of these guys get so reactive to things that once they make that, it's kind of like when a deer jumps in front of you. That's the only thing I have to compare it to. You know, you're better off to just hold the wheel straight and run into it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back going here with under 10 laps to go, and it is still Brock Price out in the lead of this race. He's done an incredible job to manage this, even though he's on 10-lap older tires than everybody else around him. I think he might have started to see some wear, but that AM driver who started this race in P12 overall was doing one heck of a job to keep it out front here.
With the race coming down to 10 to go, Brock Price looking better and better, while Jake Ellingson maybe getting the win in the pro class. Got around Sean Kaiser just before that caution came out. Mark Whitley still on the hunt.
We are going to be exactly 10 to go on this restart. Instant responsibility will go to the 185 car of Brandon Kiger. He will take an EOL as Tyler Clements has officially called it a night. He is out of the race. He will join Okie Montgomery and looks like just Okie Montgomery. Also Armando Melgoza here because that car's wrecked. That car's not getting back out on the racetrack. So it's Clements, Okie Montgomery, and Armando Melgoza out tonight. Mike Swartzen is still on the track 12 laps down, so he is going to get some points here. He will be able to pass Clements, Montgomery, and Melgoza by the end of this thing if he stays on the track. Good for him.
Gained 3 spots out of this.
Pace car will pull in here for Brock Price and Jake Ellingson up on the front row. And what a story it would be if Brock Price is able to hold on for these final 10 laps. If he wants to do that, he's going to need to have a good jump here on this restart zone. He'll take the extreme scoring restart zone. Where's he going to go? Right at the end, and that is going to let Jake Ellingson stay alongside that 43 car as we get back green. Not the jump that he would have been hoping for, but he is still clear up at the lead, and Ellingson is going to swap down in front of Kaiser. Loose moment there for the 46 car as Ellingson takes the nose off.
43 gets really loose off the exit of the corner, and that's going to allow the 74 of Whitley to the outside.
Man, he's had 2 pit decisions that have dropped him deep in the field, and he's already here with 10 laps to go. Mark Whitley is inevitable in the Alexander PC's ARCA West Series, and he's got the lead back already as Price runs it down on the inside. Ellingson will get around him for P2, and Price with a bad corner there is going to slide it up the road. That'll open the door to the 25 of Joshua Thornton coming out of nowhere. He's going to look to steal the AM class lead away from the 43.
Still got a mix of pro drivers in this battle. 25 really touching the door there on the 46. Sean Kaiser Gonna get loose.
Those two
Holds
have been
it down.
battling all race.
8 to go.
We're gonna go almost 3 wide back here. Whoa, car up the road there a little bit. That is Nicholas Myers in the 469, nearly having a moment as the 25 of Thornton does get clear for P4. Although as he's raced with Kaiser, that has allowed the 43 of Brock Price to get about 4/10 up for the AM lead. And the caution will fly for Vernon Liebenthal. I'll tell you what, I got a mouse that blinks every time a caution comes out, and it's legitimately faster than iRacing. Kind of impressive. Well, we're going to go 4 wide off the corner. That's going to be the root cause of this here. Daly and Liebenthal are going to touch. Liebenthal will get turned into Jake Ham, and it will all pile up from there. Ham back up the road. Hard contact for Friel, for Daly, and for the 085, and I think that'll be the end of a couple nights here, most likely.
Tyler Daly gets the nose ripped off of that car. Not very many drivers left that haven't had to use that fast repair. I'd say over half the field has had to use it. This sets up for Joshua Thornton. You know, he lost all that ground racing with Sean Kaiser, and now he's back to his rear bumper for this restart. Price had overshot the corner a couple different times, but because the 25 and 46 were racing side by side, he was able to get away with it. That's not going to be the case now.
Yeah, we're going to see how this works, because we're going to have a battle not just for the lead of the pro class and what will be the lead of the race here with Mark Whitley and Jake Ellingson, but we're also going to have a battle for the lead of that AM class back there that's currently third with Brock Price and Joshua Thornton. And I mean, you can't count out the 4.41 of Chris Bargetzi or the 4.1 of David Calvert, who have lurked just behind this battle. We have seen chaos for the win of the AM class multiple times already this season, so do not count either of those two cars out.
Down to...
I believe it'll be 4 to go when we get back green here. So, not a lot of time left.
Barney's been tired. He's had to hold that flag a lot here tonight.
I had a bet going with Dave Regal during the Grand National race that if we hit that 10 caution mark that we hit this race, I just inherited an electric guitar and I would play the worst riff ever on it. Will not treat y'all to that tonight.
The stairway?
No, I can barely play one chord. I inherited this thing about 3 days ago, and I don't really know how it works, and I also have to take it into the shop to get set up because it is kind of messed up. But you know, it's a guitar.
There you go.
So we'll get ready to get going here with 4 to go. And hopefully that 10th caution will be our last caution of the race, and we can get some good racing here. Down to the end of this one. Who's your pick, Bradley? Who do you think is going to get it done in the pro class?
I think Whitley's got it pretty much locked up here at this point. Jake Ellingson's showing speed, but a dirty air, I don't think he'll be able to get around him. And watching Sean Kaiser fall through this field, he's got 2 or 3 AM class drivers that are going to be fighting for the lead in front of him, so I don't think he'll be a factor now. It's really going to come down to the 74 and the 27, and how bad does Jake Ellingson want it?
Well, he's got to want it pretty bad because we've mentioned it a couple times, but he has had some rough luck this season, and he would love to get himself back in victory lane in that 27 car and break up Mark Whitley's reign of terror here in the ARCA West Series. 4 laps to go as we head down to the extreme scoring restart zone. We're green in the ARCA West Series.
Big jump,
Great jump there
for Whitley.
Whitley gets way out ahead there with 4 to go. Ellingson takes second, and then we're door-to-door back there for P3. That's for the lead of the AM class. Thornton and Brock Price are going to go back and forth for that final spot in the AM lead, and maybe even the final spot in the AM playoffs, depending on who's able to get the win of this one. Thornton came in just outside the bubble, and he will look to get himself clear of it up here on the outside lane, just as he looks to get clear of Brock Price. Chris Bargetzi in here as well, another car who might need a win to get himself into the AM playoffs. And as they door each other underneath that 441 car, Bargetzi's going to get loose. He can't take advantage. It's Joshua Thornton clear as we're 3 wide back for P4. Bargetzi is going to be the one who gets the biggest advantage down into the corner. Kaiser will have that inside lane. And David Calvert, he's here. You can't count him out with 2 to go.
He's still going to get around Sean Kaiser in the 46. Joshua Thornton might have just ran away with this lead. He's got a cushion with a pro driver, and they're getting chaotic back here. 2 to go.
That they are. The 43 car on those older tires has already dropped it back to 4th. Bargetzi, Calvert, Thornton up in front of him. And the race for the AM class is going to be Calvert and Thornton. Let's see if we can make it back to the line here for Mark Whitley to take the white flag. Yes, he will. Race is official as David Calvert is getting pretty close back there for P3 as Kaiser has jumped to the outside of Joshua Thornton for 3rd place overall. And it is David Calvert just behind this battle in that 41 car, a car who wants to make the playoffs. Both cars going all out here to try to steal a playoff spot at the last possible moment. It's going to be Calvert on the top side. It's going to be Joshua Thornton on the bottom lane. Mark Whitley's going to come around. He's going to win 4 in a row here in the ARCA West Series. We're going to door bang for the AM class lead. Thornton into Calvert, who gets it at the line. It's Joshua Thornton with the AM win.
0.02 of a second across the line. 41 had the run. 25 door checks him and keeps him behind him.
He barely got that one done across the line. What a finish there. I think if that 41, if the 25 didn't turn back up the racetrack to door the 41, I think Calvert might have had it there. Ooh. While we were watching that chaotic finish back there for the win of the AM class, Mark Whitley has done it again. In the pro class, that will be 4 consecutive wins for Mark Whitley now. And he will get to burn it down in victory lane. We'll let you listen to his burnout.
Actually, no audio on this one. We'll get it back. Producer standpoint, sometimes slow motion's cool. Sometimes you want to hear 800 horsepower.
Well, we can take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will interview Mark and have results. Stay tuned.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
Thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
We are back here in the Goat Locker Racing ARCA West Series, and we're going to take a quick look at your finishing results tonight. Mark Whitley was the leader in your pro class. He got the win in that 74 car. The remainder of your pro field tonight: Jake Ellingson, Sean Kaiser, Ronnie Morrison, Brandon Wallace, Jake Ham, and a DNF for Trevor Dyer.
M class results coming down to just under 200ths of a second, with Joshua Thornton, who started in 12th, getting the M class win. David Calvert in the 41. He'll be in the playoffs, I do believe. 41 did have a victory prior to this race, but 41 will finish in second. Brock Price will come home in third position. Then you go back to the 469. How about that race for Nicholas Myers, getting up to fourth spot? Chris Bargetzi in the 441 will finish in fifth. Dave Calvert Sr. finishing sixth spot, with Ashton Asario Nolan in seventh. Kevin Price, Nick Trussell, and Vernon Leventhal will finish out your top 10.
And finishing back from there in the AM class, you have Justin Klein, Skylar Daly, Chuck Phelps, Bobby Bender, Hayden Meir, Thaddeus Friel Jr., Mike Swartzen, Tyler Clemis, Armando Melgoza, and Oki Montgomery. We were missing Brandon Kiger from the pro class leaderboard. He finished sixth in the pro class tonight. That is where he finished. We will bring into the booth here your pro class winner for tonight's race. That is the 74 of Mark Whitley. Mark, how you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Mark, you have won the last 6 consecutive races I have commentated here on Goat Locker Racing. How do you feel about that?
It's kind of crazy, honestly. Me and Brantley were talking about it after the race, and it's just like, I don't know what is going on lately, but everything's just kind of clicking. So it's pretty nice while it's going on. I just got to end eventually, so just going to enjoy it while it's been lasting.
Yeah, what was the thought process behind those 2 pit stops there that kind of set you back, and then obviously you drove through the field and got the win again?
Yeah, honestly, that one came out. I figured, we're locked into the playoffs. We could gamble a little bit, so it was kind of a pit right there. We could make it to the end on fuel in case the winds are right and the moon came out and the planets aligned and we went green to the end. But it was just a risky gamble. It was just like, we didn't have nothing to lose. So it was just kind of one of those things. We'll just try it. If it went green, we'd have been in perfect situation. And, unfortunately didn't go green. So we had to work through the field a little bit, and then wound up back on cycle with the guys up front, right there at the end, and had to play some dodge car, and just got real lucky on that next to last restart. Like the 27 tried to get down low and maybe wasn't fully clear, or the 42 just didn't want to let him in good and gave him a little bump, so they got a little lost his momentum. And then the leader, which I think he stayed out on tires, got a little loose, and I just got a really good run off of 2, and they were to pinch him down 3 and 4 and get the lead. That was I couldn't have drawn that up better. I was sitting there thinking, wasn't sure how I was going to get back to the lead, and all that happened, and it just kind of worked out.
Who do you have to thank tonight, Mark?
Yeah, first, all the league sponsors here. Without them, the league wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. So Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, InVets, ATYL, Alexander's PCs. Just everybody helps put on this league. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Brantley over at Harpoon Design. He does all my paint jobs, and he's up on the spotter stand for me every night. Check him out, harpoondesign.com, if you want a nice looking race car. Finally, Java.gg. If you're looking for a new upgrade or a new computer altogether, they got best deals in the market right now. They're the #1 gaming marketplace, so check them out. And then final shout out to my teammate Christian. I know I've said this a few different times already, but unfortunately his mother passed away last week, and we got this beautiful little mural memorial on the hood of all our cars. So shout out to him. Hope he's doing good, and continue to ride the good times and try to lighten his spirit a little bit.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Mark Whitley. And we're going to throw it over to Bradley, who is standing by with our not our second place finisher, our AM winner tonight. That is Joshua Thornton.
Just under 200ths of a second, the 25 with a door check coming out of turn 4, but the action was good. Dave Calvert, you got to race him with the 46 of Sean Kaiser, and then, I mean, you did what you had to do. You had to give him the door touch. You got a bad run there off of 3 and 4, so you knew the momentum wasn't going to be there, pinched on the inside. It was just enough.
Yeah, it was just enough. I'm just happy that I got the car back under me after the first lap or first caution that happened or whatnot. And coming to the end, you just had to be smart with the moves that you had to do. And I just followed Whitley, and that's one of my best moves I could have done this whole race. Congrats to him, though, as well.
So now we go to that round of 8 in Richmond Raceway. You know, it was a long season to get to this point. How do you feel confident as you go into the playoffs?
Confidence are high after this win for the West. So I feel like I can carry some momentum in, and then hopefully a clear mind to keep everything rolling.
Well, finally, Joshua, we've got a lot of people that support you. I know you've got some sponsors, some friends and family watching. Go ahead and shout those people out before we let you go.
Yeah, of course. I like to thank everybody that's a part of this, all of Goat Locker and everything else. JM Paints and Productions, V-Speed, Alexander PCs, Cruising Classics, and GTR Simulators. I'd also like to shout out my sponsors as well. Juicy Spider Studios, Van, which is veterans in affiliated networking, with Bobby, Trevor, Barry, and Thaddeus there. And one of my other most important ones is Combat Warriors Outdoors as well.
Joshua Thornton, we appreciate you coming up here. Congratulations on getting the AM win, and we'll see you in Virginia in just a week's time.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
There you have it, Sky Shrek. That was another good one. A fantastic finish. I know we had the camera there on the tail end of this race, but the 43 of Brock Price had the lead there on that final restart. Made a mistake, overshot the corner again. The 25 got to the outside. It still wasn't over with. The 41 of David Calvert raced his way up through the field and got to the back end and had the corner. I think had the 25 not gave him that door check, we probably would have saw a different name in victory lane.
Yeah, that was a dramatic finish to the end there. We do not have the exact playoff results for you yet, but we will get them to you at the start of our next broadcast in 2 weeks' time when we head to Richmond to kick off the round of 8. Are you looking forward to that one, Bradley? We will see in just 2 weeks' time, same place here on V-Speed. For everybody at V-Speed and at Goat Locker Racing, and for Bradley Cooper and myself, Sky Shrek, up here in the booth, thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.